Welcome back to Great Day. While thousands of couples will get ready to celebrate Valentine's Day, about 700,000 other couples will do something else. It's so common, it's oftentimes a recurring theme in Hollywood movies.
I want a divorce.
Hey. Let's not.
Hey, yes. Yeah. It's not for you or me, it's for her.
Why do you want a divorce?
I didn't plan it this way. It just happened. You were gone. I'm sorry, but I've moved on.
That confession is sometimes the calm before the storm. The Guide to Good Divorce seminar taking place this weekend highlights opportunities for self-discovery, personal growth, and new beginnings. Setting the groundwork can help avoid a lot of extra drama. Here's what former attendees had to say about the seminar.
So after I saw that workshop, I came in here to the conference room and the entire table was filled with my life. He had every single motion, every single filing. He knew more about my case than I did because my attorney had never told me the outcomes of some of these things.
Having those women in the room, hearing the other speakers, really gave me the sense that I could do it, that I had the tools, I had the ability, and that I would have the support.
The next seminar takes place this Saturday. Joining us is the founder and certified family law attorney, Trey Yates III. That sounds like a royal name. I love that. And Molly Ward with Well-Lived Wealth in Alliance with Equitable. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right.
Great to be back.
Yes, thank you. Because, well, and unfortunately in our society, you'll be back again and again and
That's
again.
right.
So you just want people to be back in a different way.
I don't really worry about job security.
Right. You were joking earlier. You go, oh, we're segued in between music and chocolates, which is coming up in a minute. But it belongs right in there because whenever you're in love, your song comes on the radio, doesn't it? You're like, oh, look, that's our song. Whenever you break up with somebody, it's like, there's that song, the breakup song. And then, of course, you get over it with with chocolates. All right. You are a board-certified family law attorney. That's important.
That's correct.
Because sometimes people think, well, I need a lawyer. You don't need just any lawyer.
Well, I've been getting divorced every day of my life for the past 40 years. So you learn a little bit along the way. And what people don't really realize at the beginning of this journey is how complex the law is around divorce.
Right. And in particular states, it's a mistake that a lot of people make, but you need qualified counsel, obviously, and you need to take action. That's hard to do sometimes when people are emotional. They're basically just numb.
What's so inspiring about those two little segments that you showed was it appeared to me that the women were taking the initiative.
Which is interesting. Statistically, women are more likely to make the move toward divorce, but if you look at it deeper in psychology, sometimes what they're saying is, it's not working, I gotta go. Are you going to want to work on it? And that doesn't happen, right?
It doesn't happen, and you know, especially for women 50 and older, statistically they will be the first to file, even though a lot of times they have the most to risk. Financially, emotionally, from a career standpoint, et cetera, et cetera. So that's why, gosh, back in 2011, I put this program together called the Guide to Good Divorce because I was not seeing the traditional model work for a lot of my female clients.
Yeah, and in so many areas, it's the money piece, right? And that's why we know sometimes people stay together as the money, but oftentimes, and this is, I think maybe generationally, is where this sits, a lot of times if women were the stay-at-home mom, right, and the kids are now grown and out, that's where we typically see where couples are staring at each other and going, now what? Because kids are a great diversion. But it's like, where's the money? And they might not know.
Right, it is such a difficult season, and it's usually, in most of these women's life, it's the largest financial transaction of their life. And so they're going through this such a difficult season, and some of them, you know, brilliant businesswomen or hardworking moms, some of them have been heavily involved in their finances, and some have been in the complete dark. And so now the door is opening to that new financial life, and they have all kinds of questions going through their heads.
Yeah, and divorce is one of those things that you don't think about until you're in the middle of it. And Trey, as you know, there's a lot of myths out there. One is, oh, don't worry about it, girl, you're going to get some alimony.
Yeah, we don't have alimony in Texas, only by contract. And the statute that we do have called spousal maintenance, it's really hard to qualify for that.
Yeah. And
so don't count on it.
And of course, there's the other thing of, it's 50-50, you're going to get half of everything.
Well, the statute doesn't say it has to be 50-50. So why shouldn't you advocate for a disproportionate share?
Yeah. Yeah, and then of course 50-50 of what? Again, do you know where the money is?
Right.
And what things that you have rights to. And so when I was at your seminar last year and I spoke to the women about, it's like you're still a whole person. You were talking about just all the different things that they have access to that they might not know. They don't know what a pension might be or what it is, right? Or what's in the 401k,
That's
all
right.
those types
Yeah,
of things.
it's a whole
And the
different
value of the
language.
house.
Yeah, whole different language. They're concerned about the house. They're wondering if they're going to be in a desperate financial situation. How much money do they really need? And if the kids still are around, what about their kids' lifestyle? All kinds of things going through their heads.
Yeah, and if you have children, especially children with special needs, it just compounds the complexity, right?
So you have several different things that you hit on.
Yeah.
The financial education and planning, so that's a big eye-opener. But even learning life skills and self-sufficiency. You can meet women where they are. Some of them, like you said, are fine. They come in and go, look, I know where all the money is. I've never commingled funds. I got what I got.
Right.
And others come in, and there's that money piece, but there's also the emotional piece.
Well, and it's one of the greatest stressors that anyone's ever going to face. And so in the morning, Molly and I talk about the legal and the financial, and then at noon we shift over to talk about life skills, wellness. We actually do meditation, and then we also do wonderful things called gratitude work, because I want these ladies to see that this is a transition. It's not the end of something, it really is the beginning, and the mindset you bring to the process will affect the outcome.
Yeah.
So it's a really upbeat program.
Yeah,
It's
and-
not
and-
down.
No, it is.
It's
No,
really up.
I was like, wow, look at y'all. Okay, but right, and every one of them that were in that program said that. They literally said, I came in the door not knowing what to expect, but now I know I have my village, and that there are other women like me, because they were again coming from different situations. There were a few of them that infidelity was the reason why they were getting divorced,
Right.
and that was just kind of hit their whole soul.
Right.
And they wondered, what's my value? And it's like, your value is still 100%. Make it 150% if you want. But when they saw other women had gone through it too, then they realized that this is just kind of a human condition. It's not like there's something wrong with me.
Right. And that can have a profound effect on how you're processing what Molly and I talk about in terms of the law and the finances.
Right.
Yeah.
Because the way you look at your money in a divorce context is totally different than as a financial advisor.
Yeah. And then be ready for things like there is community property and community assets, but there's also that thing called community debt.
That is correct. We like to gloss over how much we owe. And a lot of my clients come in not knowing that they have less than they think they do.
Yeah. What's the most important thing you say to someone who may have gotten served yesterday? What's the number one thing that you need to do?
Get a lawyer.
Yeah,
of course.
That's true. Yeah.
No, it's a very
and by the way, I've heard this. I heard this just the other day. A friend of mine goes, "Well, we think we're just going to share a lawyer to cut, down on expenses."
Yeah, well, that's unethical. A lawyer cannot represent two people in a contested hearing. Now, I hear all the time, it's an uncontested divorce where you're getting a divorce, so there must be some conflict
Right.
between the two of you, right?
Irreconcilable differences,
Right.
even.
And when he comes in saying, we're going to use my lawyer, that should be another huge red flag that comes up, that you need to find independent counsel.
Yeah. And then, of course, you don't have to end up in a courtroom.
No.
You can do mediation, which you're a certified mediator.
Right, and the courts, because they're so backlogged right now in Harris County and Fort Bend, the judges require mediation before any type of final trial or hearing.
Yeah.
So the whole system, though not perfect and somewhat broken, still gives couples every opportunity to keep control over the outcome, not only of their children. Why would you want to turn the fate of your child over to a total stranger, a judge, right? And also the money.
Yeah.
And one of the things that Molly offers in this seminar, which I think is amazing, it's my job to get you X amount of dollars. Molly tells my ladies what that buys them.
Yeah,
right?
and how to
Yeah.
manage what you
And
got.
how to manage it.
Yeah, how to make an income from it. Or do they need to go out and get a job? It holds up a mirror, or we call it the crystal ball. This is the future. The door has opened to this new financial life. Even if they have been completely involved in the finances or been in the dark, it is still a whole new financial life and the largest financial transaction. This program is so great. They walk in, like you said, it's, they're uncomfortable coming in, they're going through a difficult time, but they're leaving, they're breathing. They're just, it's such a relief. They're breathers after they leave.
We see connection, the ladies that walked in the room, total strangers. By about noon, You know, I watch them sort of make new community, and that's one of the things we emphasize for the Guide to Good Divorce is your life is going to look different, but that doesn't mean it's going to be bad.
Right, because friends that you had together, sometimes those friends split off and have allegiances, and so you create new friends. I told you during the commercial break, I ran into a woman the other day. She goes, "Oh, I remember what you said at that seminar last year. You said, okay, I want you to write down on a piece of paper the 5 things that are immovable in a mate, because oftentimes they have in their mind who's going to be my next husband. It's like no, calm down for a minute.
Can't do that.
Yeah. And then I asked them, for how many of you does the husband that you're crying over right now, that you're getting divorced from, how many of those characteristics did they have? Very few hands went up.
Right.
And most of them, I said, so what are you crying about? It was a season in life. You produced some great children, had some good times. Now your new beginning, as you mentioned, the new beginning.
And our hope is that you leave the seminar feeling a bit lighter, a little clearer, and also have a purpose.
Yeah. Well, thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, the Guide to Good Divorce seminar takes place this Saturday at the St. Regis Hotel, 8:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. The cost is $97 and includes a light breakfast. Get crucial resources and build a new supportive community with other women in the same stage of life. For more information about the seminar or to register, visit their website at guidetogooddivorce.com, guidetogooddivorce.com. If you'd rather pay cash at the door, you can call Vanessa. Vanessa's at 713-999-1161, 713-999-1161. Again, there will be a lot of expert advice on how to navigate your new life dealing with divorce, and they'll bring up some things that you just weren't thinking about but are critical to the outcome.